Have you noticed that when we are with people, we tend to take care of ourselves a little bit better? We tend to stand straight, we dress a bit better. Interestingly enough, if you think of the last few months with distancing, few things has happened. For many, there was less accountability because we did not have to go to work every day. We did not have to go to the workplace every day. We did not have to go to school every day. So what happens is a lot of people just step back a little bit because they were less accountable to their image. Now, on the other hand, I know that I have some students that have worked 2 to 3 hours on their basketball skills. Other people have done some running, weightlifting. And you know what? These individuals are basically 3 months ahead of anybody else they're competing with. So there's no competition. They took the responsibility, they were accountable to themselves, and they made things happen. So you will say, why is it important to be accountable? Well, to be accountable gives you a chance to aim for the small wins, to give you a chance to build your self-esteem, because when you are going along your vision, working on little goals, you have little wins, and little wins brings you more confidence, more self-esteem, so you can go for the bigger ones. And that's why I think accountability is such an important aspect of life. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alain Faber, and I am here to share with you ideas on growth mindset. I'm not a doctor, not a professional trainer. All I am is someone who wants you to be better, to create a better world. One of my key stories is last year when I worked with my personal trainer and I lost 30 pounds over 4 months. That means that, yes, I can do it. Why did I get the weight back? Well, I think it's a matter of accountability. I was seeing my personal trainer every week. I was following meal plan. He was on top of what I was doing every week. Furthermore, in order to pay for my personal trainer, I was doing tutoring to try to get some money to pay for the personal trainer. So overall, I was accountable to people that I was tutoring. Second, I was accountable to my personal trainer, and ultimately, I was accountable to myself. Now the question is, why did I get the weight back? I think that my accountability, even though in my mind it was still there, I was not as much accountable to other people. And that was my biggest mistake. And I think that I need to change that. And that's the reason why I created this 10-part series on health. I need to be more accountable to myself, and you as part of my audience is a great way for me to stay accountable, and for you as part of this community to be more accountable to yourself as well. If you think about it, accountability comes in different ways in our society. For example, there is what we call direct payment. There's a company that goes straight in your bank account to pay for your phone, electricity, and other things. Since they do that, you no longer have to be accountable because it's done for you. But they do that to make sure that you're accountable to them. The government takes money from you, right from your paycheck, as income tax. Why do they go straight to your paycheck? Well, they want you to be accountable, and therefore they're going at the source. It's not that they don't trust you, but somehow maybe they don't want to have to trust you. That's something to keep in mind. Another way to think about accountability is to be consistent with what we do. When we go to the bank and we borrow some money and we want to pay it back over a year, over 24 months, we want to be consistently giving so much money a month so that at the end of the 2 years, all the money is paid back. If you are going to school, to college, for example, or university, or even for apprenticeship program, there are courses where you have to show up every day so that you are accountable to your learning, to the position that you want to get in the future. If you think about it, the online courses were hard to come in because universities like the accountability of the students to go on campus to learn. Now the question is, what will happen now that more and more learning happens out of the campus? The question is, will people still be accountable for their learning? And that is the big question that online courses provider, learning course, let's see, LMS, which is the learning management systems they need to work on to make sure that everybody in their programs will actually go until the end. Another aspect of accountability is when you're a professional, either you're a doctor, psychologist, a teacher, even when I was a geologist, they have what they call professional organization. The reason for that is the organization is there to keep the professionals accountable so that they keep on learning to make sure that their skills is still relevant and they can provide the best services possible. So you see, we can let other people be accountable for their lives, but society has shown that if you are doing organizations, groups, you're going to church, you are organizing into communities, groups of people with like-minded ideas, so that each other they can be accountable for each other. And that is quite amazing if you think about that. So I have 3 tips for you to be more accountable. First one is to use your agenda. Now, I use my agenda paper copy because I like to meditate when I organize my day, and on paper it's wonderful. However, an electronic calendar creates a situation where you can organize your time so that you can plan an event for the next year, for the next 52 weeks. If you are wanting to be physically active, you can actually say for the next 360 days, which 6 days of the week you're going to be active and from what time to what time. The routine gives you the accountability. So my second tip to be more accountable is to talk to a friend or a colleague that have the same ideas as you. Because when you team tag, the best way for this one is you can help each other. When one person feels down, the other person can bring them up. Or sometimes you can feed off each other, so when things are exciting, you get more and more excited. That's when innovation happens, and that's when you can change the world. So my third tip for accountability is to use social media. People use social media to share what they do, what they think, what they like. I'm using YouTube to share with you ideas on how to be better. I use YouTube for my students to make sure that they learn what they need to learn, even if I'm not there. But the idea is I'm using social media to be consistently available, and at the same time it keeps me accountable with what I give to my audience. If there are questions, I can answer them. If they question me and my message, I can respond, or gives me an opportunity to actually grow, because I'm part of the community too. So here is my call to action today. First thing is you're going to get your agenda, because to be accountable, you need to be healthy. That means you need to be accountable for your sleep, what you're going to eat, and what you're going to do for physical activities. This morning, I went for a 30 minutes walk, and I did 5 sets of squats as I went along. Did I look funny? Yep, I felt self-conscious. But you know what? I think that is the best way to use the agenda to make sure that I stay active. My second point is to keep in mind motivational quotes. Motivational quotes is some sentences that I keep around the house to make sure that I stay motivated. One of them is raise your standard. I like that one. Tony Robbins says that one all the time. When I get up in the morning and I read raise your standard, I say, okay, what can I do to be the best person I can for my students, for my family, and myself? Another motivational note I have is, let's see, it reads, do not compete, dominate. And here, the idea is, I don't want to compete with everybody. My idea is, I want to be who I am. And by being who I am true to myself. And in doing so, I dominate others because I am self-confident enough to be the best person I can be. You can do that too. Another saying I have is choose today for better tomorrow. And I keep that one for many reasons. Sometimes I feel a bit tired at the end of the day, and I don't want to do something, and I think, well, if I do it today, it will make tomorrow better. And I keep that motivational note for that reason, because choosing to do something today to make tomorrow better is worth it. It's how you can be accountable to yourself to make a better world. And the last motivation note that I will talk to you about today is called Be Growth Driven. I have that one because sometimes when I start being, I don't know, when you have self-pity and you don't feel like doing anything and things are not working the way you want, when I see Be Growth Driven, it reminds me that I have a larger vision. And yes, there'll be ups and downs and bumps here and there. But if I'm growth driven, I will accept that there will be difficult times. But I will not let those difficult times get in the way of me following my vision to make a better world. And on this, I'm going to put the link here to my playlist on my best life journey on health. I'll see you in the next video.